Yes guys, you read that title right. In today's video, the Gibson Fanboy is trying out an ESP M2 custom shop in Andromeda. This guitar is totally out of my comfort zone. Usually I play chunky neck guitars with low wound pickups and more vintage style specs. So today's video is going to be an interesting one, so without further ado, let's get straight into this Squealing Pig Guitars video. Hello guitarists, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury drum machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Keightley and today we're doing another Gibson Fanboy tries video. Of course, the guitar that we're trying today is a beautiful ESP M2 custom shop guitar. As I mentioned in the intro, of course this guitar is completely out of my comfort zone. I usually play a ES335 and I've been partial to a few Novos recently, but they're usually Gibson or Fender style guitars. However, I absolutely love the way that this guitar looks. It has a killer Andromeda finish, which is this kind of shape-shifting finish, and the cast metal look is insane. I've heard really good things about ESP, so I'm looking forward to trying this one today. And of course, this was made in Japan, so it's a very high-end guitar. So let's not dawdle any further and get straight into the spec talk of this beautiful guitar. So guys, welcome to the spec talk of this killer ESP custom shop guitar. So guys, here's the guitar that we're looking at today. This is the killer ESP M2 Andromeda. And you might be wondering, what does that word mean, Andromeda? It basically refers to the shifting of the color in the finish. So this has a bit of a flip-flop finish. You'll see as I kind of move it in the light there, we're going from blue to purple. And on the back of the neck, you can really see that beautiful color shifting effect. The neck is a satin finish, but on the body, we have this very unusual finish called cast metal. And if you look, it's actually a textured kind of finish. And that really shows off the purple and the blue color shifting. This is something that we're seeing quite a lot of Squealing Pig guitars. It seems to be like a custom shop option where they do this cast metal finish. We had a few guitars that were in like white and silver. This is the first one I've seen in this kind of purple and blue finish, but I think it looks really cool. It's definitely a bit of a niche thing, but it feels really nice, and it's a bit of a different finish. That's then paired with some gorgeous black satin hardware and the gunmetal EMG pickups. So obviously this is an M2 model, so we have an older body and then we have a 3-piece maple neck with neck-through construction. As I mentioned, we have that nice satin kind of D shape with the ebony fingerboard and the small rectangular inlays. We have a simple 3-way position switch on this one with one volume, one tone, very low profile gunmetal volume and tones. In the neck, we have an EMG 66TW, and in the bridge, we have an EMG 57TW. We've got the Goto HT bridge, and we've got the Goto locking tuners. And as you can see, the cast metal finish goes on the headstock as well, which is a nice matching element, and we have a volute on this one. This is a very high-end ESP guitar made in Japan, and the craftsmanship on this guitar is impeccable. There's no flaws in the finish. From the transition from the neck to the body is beautiful with this cast metal finish very seamlessly going into the satin. It's a very beautiful guitar to see, and as you can see, it's completely brand new, so we've got all the stickers on this guitar. Although I'm a massive Gibson fanboy, I really do appreciate high-level craftsmanship and guitars like this. I think this one's going to play so well today because I don't see how it can't. It looks incredible, and I can tell that it's been set up nicely. So I can't wait to plug this in and see what it sounds like. So without further ado, let's plug in the 2-watt Bloomfield drive and get into the tone demonstration. So guys, welcome to the tone demonstration of this crazy ESP M2 in cast metal. This is such a crazy guitar. Obviously, we've gone over all the specs and talked about it, but now we need to hear it in action. So in the tone demonstration today, I'm using my 2-watt Bloomfield drive. I know some of you might be shaking your head at that amplifier choice, but that's the amplifier I typically use for these demos. But I'm using my Kemper Profiler as well, which has got a very heavy tube screamer tone. So to start off with the tone demonstration, let's hear that riff once again. with a chorus pedal. So starting off, obviously, I'm a Gibson fanboy. I love vintage style guitars, but this guitar is such a pleasure to play. It's got a finished neck profile. It's not too slim though. It's not like an Ibanez Gem. It's still got a nice rounded profile. It's very wide, so very out of my comfort zone. But for riffs like, you know, Marigold, where you're having to stretch a lot, this guitar feels incredible. And one of the main things I've noticed just right off the bat is how good these frets are. I'll show you on the B camera. They're like absolute speed bumps of frets. And my student, Kenny, who I teach, was telling me how good the frets are on these MIJ ESPs. And I have to say, I completely agree with them. Playing this is an absolute pleasure. I know the finish is quite strange, but I actually really dig it. So far, a thumbs up for the ESP from the Gibson Fanboy. Just to let you guys know, this is the 2-Rock Bloomfield Drives Crunch channel, so no pedals. So very minimal amount of gain, but then I'm just putting a heavy tube screamer in front of it, and you have gain. Wow, I'm having so much fun today. I didn't expect to like this guitar so much. It's such a high-end piece. One of the main reasons I do these Gibson Fanboy videos is to explore if these metal machines, these shred machines, can perform like Gibson guitars, or the guitars that I prefer to play on a daily basis. And most of the time I'm playing more cleaner styles, fingerstyle, or like blues, or classic rock. I do play metal from time to time, but I like to explore different styles in my demos. So I'm gonna dial back the gain now and just play more of a kind of honest crunch tone going through the Bloomfield. And this is the bridge pickup, so let's hear it. In that case, you could actually roll back on these EMGs quite nicely. This is just the crunch tone. The volume slightly, you've got a slightly more cleaner tone. So you can roll back EMG pickups and they sound good. They definitely don't sound as good as PAS, but you can definitely get a nice rolled back tone on them. For example, on neck pickup, full volume. Back that volume. That's a usable tone and it sounds incredible. It might look a bit weird playing kind of blues on an instrument like this, but these guitars sound awesome, got a really nice tone. Really enjoying that neck pickup so far, sounding insane. Let's now go onto the clean channel and see how the neck pickup sounds on clean mode. Definitely lacking a little bit of bass end, but it's still a very usable tone. It actually sounds very similar to the Metallica kind of original. A very plinky-plonky, compressed EMG sound, but it's very usable still. And as I say, it's a very in-tune instrument. The intonation's dead on as you move up the neck. Let's go on to the second position, the middle and the bridge. Again, a very nice sound, very compressed, but it has a really nice tone to it. It's just very usable. Not my favorite tone in the world, but still, I'm very impressed with this guitar. Finally, let's hear the bridge pickup. That's definitely the worst tone I've got from this guitar so far. The bridge pickup sounds like it's got an envelope filter on it, which obviously isn't too desirable, but the neck and the middle position sounded really good. My favorite clean tone by far was the neck pickup, so let's hear that one more time before we finish up today. So guys, that is the end of the tone demonstration of this ESP M2. So let's go to the outro of this video and give my full review and rating on this awesome guitar. So guys, it is the end of this Squealing Pig Guitars video. If you've enjoyed this Gibson Fanboy video, make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Make sure to leave a comment telling me which shred machine I should review next. Would you like to see more ESP on the channel, or maybe more Music Man, Ibanez? Let me know down below. Also, whilst you're down there, let me know what you think of this ESP M2 Andromeda. Do you think it's disgusting, or do you think it's beautiful? Let me know in the comment section below. In today's video, I'm gonna rate it a 7.8 out of 10. This guitar really surprised me today. Usually I'm not a fan of thin neck guitars or D-shaped neck guitars, but this guitar just felt right. Especially for the opening Marigold riff, I found that this guitar really supported, lower thumb kind of playing, which is better for shred stuff. And I found that I didn't have to apply as much pressure, and it was very easy to play. In terms of metal and shred guitar playing, it definitely cleaned up my playing as it was allowing me to have that more kind of classical hand positioning. There's no dead spots on the fretboard. We have these kind of speed bump frets, which make bending and vibrato so easy. Obviously it's a hardtail, so it stayed in tune very nicely, and I was a big fan of the EMG pickups on the high gain tone. However, on the clean setting, I did find these pickups to be a little bit too compressed. They have that kind of plinky plonky sound with my current setup. So it's definitely more of a high gain guitar, as you can tell by the look of this. But I was really impressed by this ESP M2 today. But as always guys, if you've enjoyed the Squealing Pig Guitars video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. YouTube tells us that 70% of you guys that watch these videos aren't subscribed to the channel, so make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and hit the notification bell to be notified when we make a new SPG video. But that is the end of this SPG video. I really hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow for another one. But until then, keep rocking guys. I'll see you soon.